Right out of the gate, I want to again apologize for my wind. Hey guys, Johnny Nerd out here. Got another custom e-bike build for you. I want to go over this bike, what we did to it, and why this bike is pretty cool. It's really windy out here, so if the audio is really bad, sorry. Okay, so what I do is I convert bikes into e-bikes. If you like stuff like that, check out my other videos. If you want components, you want parts, e-bike stuff, check out my website, johnnynerdout.com. I sell all the stuff, all the components, specialty parts you're gonna need to do your own install, or bring me your bike, I'll convert it for you. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. This is a Masi CX Comp. This is one of these bikes where this battery, no matter what battery you're gonna get, is gonna last a lot further on this type of bike than it will on like a fat tire bike, for example. This is the opposite of a fat tire bike when it comes to gas mileage. You're not getting, it's like fuel efficiency, but it's like watt hour efficiency. This bike is super efficient. If you wanna do a long distance cross country, literally across the country, I'd probably get a bike like this and I'd put pannier bags here, pannier bags here. This is the ultimate touring bike. You know, it could be, not like this, but if you added racks to it, this would be. And going across country, and people are like, no, it's got rim brakes on it, but I've read a lot of bikes, a lot of documentaries, watched a lot of documentaries on people who do long distance riding when they go through different countries. And you know, maybe this is changing, but they still say when they go through different countries, like third world countries, they still do rim brakes. They prefer to have rim brakes because a lot of bike shops in these different countries don't have disc brakes and disc brake parts. So don't always knock the rim brakes. And as long as the rim brakes work well, that's the biggest thing, is make sure that they're adjusted well and your bike should be fine. But if they're not the greatest, upgrade to a disc brake bike. So obviously this one has rim brakes. They are Tektro rim brakes. You know, as long as you keep your rims clean, hit them with some rubbing alcohol, keep this part clean, make sure your pads have got plenty of life left, and rim brakes are fine. This is an Italian bike. It started off as in Italy, and they came to California. I think now Masi is owned by Haro, I believe, so they're now made in Asia. But this is an older one, so I think this one might have been made in America. It's got a drop bar to it, so this is a little bit trickier if you're thinking about converting your drop bar bike. I recommend putting the inline brake cutoffs in them, and you are going to lose your front derailleur. So this, you know, you shift your gears right here. Your left one's not going to, it's just going to be a dummy one, just for show now. But your brakes still work just fine. You put in inline brake cutoffs on there, little sensors, like I got one right here. And it just, there's a little roller pin in there that it senses when you're braking, it cuts power. And then it just, when you let go, power goes right back. Super easy to put in. Just like adding in a gear shift sensor. It's got a little PDPD Bell on it. Super nice. Enough rambling about this bike. Let's go on to what we did to it. I put it on a BBS02 750w motor, mid-drive by Bafang. Puts out 1500 watts at peak when it's paired with a 52 volt battery, which this is what this is. 52 volt, 16.75 ah battery. This thing honestly depends on how you're riding it, but if you're riding it conservatively, you should easily be able to get 80 miles out of this battery, which is almost 900 watt hours. I think it's like 876 watt hours out of this. So if you're using this, you know, 10 watt hours a mile, you get almost 90 miles out of this. One with the 850C color display. This is a nice display, especially if you're looking for something that has a USB output on it, so you could charge your phone. Charge lights, whatever you want, you could charge right off of this. So you don't need to have a USB on your battery. You could just plug right into here and it'll charge. We put a throttle right up here. And to make that work, I use the Handle Bob by Grin Technologies, ebikes.ca up in Canada. I do also have some of these on my website if you just need to buy one. I just needed one for this. They sell them in packs of 2s, but a lot of times you just need one just for the throttle. And you could just make the little toggle switch just work with a little zip tie and just stretch it out a little bit. Usually put a gear shift sensor on it right here because it's a mid-drive. I definitely recommend putting on a gear shift sensor. It just cuts power in between gear shifting, acts like an automatic clutch. It's going to save your chain and your rear cassette. The lifespan will be greatly improved if you just add this little gear shift sensor. All right, so I'm not gonna do a hill climb test on this because we've been getting a lot of rain lately, but I am gonna do a top speed test and see what this can do. So let's go do a Johnny Nerd Out test on top speed test. All right, as you can see, 36 miles an hour. That's just with throttle, no pedaling at all. Honestly, I think this thing could go a lot faster than that. The speed was still climbing when I hit my stop point because there's a road right in front of there. So I had to slam on the brakes. With these rim brakes, I wasn't totally confident in it, even though these brakes worked well. So it was still climbing when I hit the brakes. So I bet you this top speed is probably 37, 38, I bet. And I'm not surprised at all because I was expecting 38 with these tires and a 52-volt battery. Yeah, you could hit some crazy speeds just under throttle. All right, so total cost for this one without my labor to do this was about 1,200 bucks. So if you have a bike like this and you're thinking about converting it, with everything that you see here, it was about 1,200 bucks. Battery, motor, adapters, inline brake cutoffs, everything like that. About 1,200 bucks. That if you have a good quality bike like this is a good quality bike. This is not a bike that you're going to get off of Amazon or Walmart or Target, which I do not recommend you buying. This is a good bike. This is a little bit more of a, at least it was back in the day, this was a little bit more of a premium brand. So for 1,200 bucks, you got a premium foundation of a bike for your e-bike. And now you're breathing new life into this 20-year-old bike, if not more, 25-year-old bike, which is awesome. And you got a killer e-bike. Enough rambling about this. Hopefully the wind wasn't too bad. Hopefully you found this helpful. All right, see you guys.